Hey guys, welcome back. This is part 12 of the S2000 upgrades, and in the previous video we accomplished a major hurdle. We did some port matching on the intake manifold, but we had to match intake port to head port by cutting the head, which is kind of the other way around. Well, we did that. So now intake manifold is installed. Throttle body is not installed, it's just being held on by 2 bolts. And we got some of these accessories put on, like tensioner, alternator. So everything underneath the manifold is done already. So I'm glad that's over with. So it's kind of a pain to do all that, but it's finally done. But now we're going to concentrate on everything on this side of the throttle body. But before we do that, I'm going to have to get this hole taken care of. This is the air intake temperature sensor connection. In my opinion, I don't like the way it looks. It's kind of flat. This was made for a K series. This is supposed to be upside down. So there is a little label, skunk to label, that will fit right here. But I have to plug these up right here. I already ordered countersunk 1/8 inch plugs and 1/4 inch plugs, so I'm not worried about these sticking out because that label will go right over it. But here I'm gonna have to drill it out. This drill bit 21/64, I think. I'll drill this out a little bit larger, and then I'll run a tap through it. Then I'll use one of the 1/8 inch plugs I have, and I'll plug it up. I'll stick a rag in here to catch any kind of shavings. It's not a big deal. It won't be a bunch of metal. So we'll do that. And I also purchased a brand new Honda serpentine belt. Put that on. And I already went ahead and bolted on the throttle position sensor, the K-tune adapter, and an OEM idle air control valve. And the map sensor. I don't have the map sensor. Oh, I do have it put on. It's right here. It's right there. But anyway, everything looks pretty good so far. Throttle cable bracket is adjusted. This hose fuel line, I'm gonna have to get a different hose. I don't like how close it is to the belt. So I'll have to figure out how I'm gonna route the hose. Maybe run it this way. I'm not sure, but I'm not worried about that. I'll just get a different hose. Let's see what else. Tubing lines are in place. Everything looks okay. Everything's buttoned up. So we're rocking along here pretty good. So like I said, we'll get this hole drilled out, and then we'll bolt on the throttle body. We're good. And then continue on, and then at that point we might be ready for some intake piping. looking for a map sensor connector. This is a 2005 RSX automatic, and this is the map sensor connector that I need. We are at the U-Pull-It, dissecting a car where cars come to die. Probably over 100 degrees. And you get that green wire all the way back up, because the S2000 map sensor and the K-series map sensor are completely different. So that's why we are here. Which is right here, ties back into this, which is a splice right here. So I'll probably have to cut it right here. Peel this back carefully. It goes back as far as we can, which is right there. So we'll cut that. We already picked up the coolant temp connector. I can't remember what it was called. So now I think this is the last piece. I only want to do one splice. So here we have our connectors. We got what we came for, and these are our little pigtails. So all is good now. Okay, got back from the salvage yard. You pull it a couple of days ago, and I have the two map sensor connectors right here. I'm gonna cut these wires off to length and then splice them in. So the map sensor, TPS injectors, crank, and coolant temp sensor are hooked up. The only two that we have left are the idle air control valve, which is this one, and air intake temp sensor, which is this one. But this one, like I mentioned earlier in a previous video, this is going to be the AEM sensor. So I'll just have to cut this one off and extend the wires, and on this one I'll cut them off, extend the wires, and reuse the same connector. So I'm going to peel back all this tape, take off the loom, and see what color wires are here, and then hopefully I'll have the I have a harness that's right there next to my Type R block. Hopefully I can find those wires in that harness. I'm using that as a sort of like a spare wire little harness. Go ahead and cut this off and extend the wires, splice them in. Okay, so we need a solid black wire, a black with a red stripe, and a yellow with a black stripe. Go ahead and come over here to harness, see what we can find. Which is right here. Rat's nest harness. So I'm sure I'll find what I need. I'm gonna look through this. Make sure the wire is long enough, cut both ends and solder them in. Okay, I got the wires from that old harness. Couldn't find the exact colors, but got something pretty close. The gauge of the wire was a little bit different because of the motor itself on that idle air control valve. It's a little bit higher current. Maybe those other wires aren't able to support it as much, or not rated for that amperage or something. I'm not sure. I got these thicker gauge wires. Should be fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this harness about halfway, splice in the longer wires, and then cut it to length on the other end. I'm probably gonna run underneath the manifold, kind of tuck it underneath there, that way it's not really visible. So go ahead and get it cut, and then I'll splice it in, then run it underneath. Okay, so our idle air control valve wires are ran, spliced in, soldered in to extend the harness. And now we're going to cut it to the length of the yellow wire, which is the longest, or which is the shortest. So we'll just cut them right here. Just like so. I'll leave those open-ended for now. So now I'm going to do the same thing to the intake air temp. I'm going to find the same color wires just like I did the other one. And these I'm going to leave, instead of splicing in this connector again, I'm going to leave this one off and splice in the AEM. But I will leave a little bit of leadway here. I'll hold on to this connector just in case, because you never know. Might have to go back to stock, and that would suck, but you never know. Okay, we got our wires extended, both the idle air control valve and the air intake temp sensor. So I went ahead and went to O'Reilly's and got some wire loom. 10 feet of it should be enough. So I'm gonna wire loom this all in one harness all together, and then try to run it neatly underneath the manifold and have it come out somewhere around here, probably a bit more on this side to get away from the belt. So I'll do that, and then I'll terminate the idle air control valve harness, and then I'll leave the intake air temp sensor wires just kind of hanging there for now until I'm ready for them. I mean, I could do it right now, but I need to just to make sure where I'm going to put the sensor. If I can trim back from the wire and all that, it should be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and should be it for 95% of the wiring. Okay, we got our IAC wired in, and this is where our air temp sensor is going to be. I kind of think I already know where I want to put it. I'm going to put it right underneath the throttle body. Well, not underneath the throttle body, but the pipe that goes into the throttle body. I'll put it right underneath there. So that's the plan right now. Like I said, I'm not going to do anything, but it'll be more or less like that. So I'm going to go ahead and finish cutting off this wire loom right here, and I'll show you what I want it to look like. So it's going to look like so. Here's the IAC, so that's going to plug in, and we can do that now. And I'll tie wrap these wires back, and the air intake temp sensor is going to go somewhere right here, probably around here, right before it goes into the throttle body, just like so. And with that done, that pretty much completes the wiring, and which leads us to the next step, which is the intake piping, filter housing, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop the video right here, and it's gonna be it. It's pretty hot in my garage. Stay tuned for the next part. If you want up-to-date progress on the car, follow my Instagram page. It's called Grind to Garage. It's stuff at work, stuff at home, stuff that I do, stuff that I see. So go ahead and follow that, and if you're new, subscribe, hit the like button as well. It helps out. And go back to all the other videos to start with, to start over if you're just now starting. you can see what it was and what it has become. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you on the next one.